1400 years ago, in the heart of the Arabian desert, an illiterate man made a medical prescription with absolute confidence. No lab coat, no microscope, just divine guidance. And today, science confirms he was absolutely right. What it reveals is nothing short of astonishing. In the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a man approached him in distress. "My brother is suffering from severe stomach issues," he said. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied simply, "Let him drink honey." The man returned and said, "I did, but it made him worse." Again, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Let him drink honey." This happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. Each time, the man insisted his brother wasn't getting better. And each time, the Prophet ﷺ stood by his prescription. On the 4th and final time, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Allah has spoken the truth, and your brother's stomach has lied. Let him drink honey." The man followed the advice once more, and this time his brother was completely healed. This hadith is remarkable, and I'll tell you why in just a second. In this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ advises the man to give his brother honey, a remedy mentioned in the Quran as having healing properties. Despite the man returning with the complaint that the treatment did not work initially, the Prophet ﷺ insists that the treatment is correct and advises him to continue giving honey. Eventually, the man's brother is healed, reinforcing the truth of the Prophet's advice and the healing properties of honey. Now fast forward 1400 years, and this boggled my mind in all honesty. A study by Bogdanov et al. Found something incredible. In this study, they concluded the health-promoting properties of honey are only achieved by applying rather high doses, such as 2 to 4 tablespoons or 50 to 80 grams of honey per intake. This mirrors the prophetic guidance exactly. The cure required persistence and a higher intake of honey than most people today would consider. Most people, when using honey medicinally, take just a teaspoon. But the Sunnah and now science suggest higher dosages are required to unlock honey's full healing properties, up to 4 tablespoons. Many doctors today dismiss honey as just another form of sugar, slightly better maybe because of some minerals. Some even advise against it due to its sugar content. But this view misses the bigger picture. It is important to note that honey is distinctively different than plain white table sugar. Honey isn't refined white sugar. It is not extracted, processed, or stripped of its essence. It is a complete natural food packed with enzymes, antioxidants, and healing compounds. It is how Allah created it. Compare that to table sugar, for example, stripped of all fiber, vitamins, and minerals. White flour devoid of antioxidants, nutrients, fiber, and phytochemicals. Vegetable oils hydraulically extracted into unstable molecules sensitive to heat, oxygen, and light. The more we tamper with food and stray away from how Allah created certain things, the worse it usually gets. But honey is pure, unchanged, and accredited in the Quran for its healing properties. Another study, this time from the University of Toronto, showed that raw honey actually improves cardiometabolic health. It lowers fasting blood glucose, LDL cholesterol, triglycerides, and it increases good cholesterol and anti-inflammatory markers. These results are surprising because honey is about 80% sugar, said Tawsif Khan, a senior researcher on the study and a research associate in nutritional science at the University of Toronto's Faculty of Medicine. But honey is also a complex composition of common and rare sugars, proteins, organic acids, and other bioactive compounds that very likely have health benefits. His colleague, Dr. John Sievenpiper, principal investigator and an associate professor of nutritional sciences, who is also a clinician scientist at Unity Health Toronto, added, The word among public health and nutrition experts has long been that a sugar is just a sugar. These results show that's not the case, and they should give pause to the designation of honey as a free or added sugar in dietary guidelines. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, يخرج من بطونها شراب مختلف ألوانه فيه شفاء للناس إن في ذلك لآية لقوم يتفكرون. From within the bellies of the bees emerges a drink of varying colors, in which there is healing for mankind. Indeed, in that is a sign for people who reflect. This is the miracle of divine guidance, unchanging, enduring, and ever relevant. Nutrition science evolves, fads come and go, and even though the winds of nutritional science are always shifting, Allah's words remain timeless. If you learned something today, hit that subscribe button. I've got more insights, more hadith, and more science coming every single week. Thanks for watching. Wassalamu ala man ittaba al-huda.